through the bill. Mr. Knight did a wonderful job of securing some really good things. But I mean, if there's something that the business community wants to do, we'll support it. We have. I think we have. We support the street fairs. Yeah.
Yes, Jack.
Yes. Oh, that's me. Yeah.
Yes. No, it was me. Yes, Jack.
Yeah. This is Jack. So, I'd like to address a sales tax. Okay, and it's that ugly thing that nobody really wants to talk about. Is what we pay and never get a return on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you like to discuss? I know it has to go. The county is sitting on it, and then it goes to the town, and then they throw their little sprinkles onto the village.
Jack, thank you. There was an article actually written in the Rockland County Business Journal about that very thing.
Oh, really?
Just this week, yeah.
Just this week, about the fact that it's time now for the county to start releasing more money from the sales tax than they have in the past. When they were in financial problems, we all said, fix yourselves. They are now building up resources and they're bragging about how well they're doing financially, but they're not sharing that with the towns and villages through the sales tax.
And as the article pointed out, Rockland gives out a much lower percentage of the county sales tax to the municipalities than I think almost any other local county. I mean, Westchester gives like half of it back.
Definitely an issue.
I would urge people, you live in a village, you also live in a town, you also live in a county. The county legislature has meetings, and I don't think anybody ever goes. So, I mean, to petition for some of these changes, I know that we talked to the official about it, but sometimes it's helpful to have the public speak up about, to go to the town about some of the things that you'd like the town to do, particularly with the police and whatnot, and go to the county and some of the things the county should be doing. And certainly still come here and get on us about the stuff that we should be doing. That's totally legit as well.
But I think that the village and the business community should get together about the sales tax thing and go and advocate hard. There's an election coming up. There's new people going to be on the legislature. There's no reason why we shouldn't make this an issue. Because it really is, it's been this way for a long time. When I first became mayor, I went before the legislature and asked them to change the formula. And they almost laughed me out of the room because they were struggling so much to meet that. You remember that was, when they were in all kinds of deficit and we're going to have to take out a loan and all this stuff to keep the government going.
Before you vote out it.
So now's the time though for them to start giving back to really, it's not just about giving back to the village, it's actually helping the whole county.
What did they do with it right now?
Balance their budget and put it into their reserve funds. They've built reserves up. We've not been able to do that because we don't have those sorts of revenue sources.
Is there anything like how much sales tax is collected per buyer?
I'm sorry, Alex.
Do you know how much sales tax is collected?
We don't know the percent. He's asking how much comes from Niagara versus elsewhere. We have to think probably we do disproportionate. We collect a disproportionate amount of sales tax versus our population because that's how it's allocated. It's allocated by population, and we probably
back hard too.
we probably hit above our weight there for it, but it doesn't help us. I mean, obviously Nanuet gets killed because they do a ton of sales taxes generate Nanuet. Clarkstown as a whole, yeah, Nanuet's Allen. Clarkstown as a whole gets hit, but that's the way that they do it, and. If it would be nice if we had a little bit more coming from that, especially as how much is generated here or not.
Definitely a place that we can work on. Tyrone?
Sorry. I will say the county is working on their budget now.
Right.
So now is really the time to start asking those questions and to go to those meetings because that would be a nice change for all of our municipalities. So.
I mean, even if we could get $100,000 more, we make a huge.
Oh my God.
It's funny though.
Primary incentive to become a city, if we could consolidate the Nags into a city, we would save all the sales.
Yep, we would then set the sales tax. Tyrone?
Then you can come out.
Just kind of about the events, the towns that we have been much helpful of getting these events done for us and helping us out, organizing them. And I think one of the major things that I said before about whether or not we give you a eco treatment or not, or if we do them. I think one of the major things is that one of the major things for chamber to use how only way as maybe they did. Is the town like here to pick that up, that bill? I mean, that's really, or how do we do that? That's a big.
Bill?
I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand what you're asking us. To pick up the bill for all the stuff that the chamber does for the Halloween parade?
Yes, yeah, I guess so.
We support it by not charging for our
But
DPW.
organizing another one and saying, let's say that they're not able to do anything else. I'm sorry, I understand.
I think they're asking for more time. I'm assuming you're asking for more town involvement in some of these, is that what I'm?
No, I'm saying.
No, he's asking us to cover the cost.
The chamber,
Yeah, what,
organize the Halloween parade, all the costs, right? So I'm saying if they reduce it, they're not gonna pay with their.
I understand, yep, and it's, that's not the only thing, it's also this NIAC. There's a lot of things that get funded through the street fairs. But we still need to have a discussion, that if we can just have a discussion, or if you do with it, with the folks that are concerned about it, maybe there's things that you'll come, like, I want you to be the ones that set up how this works. And then come and ask us for the dates that everybody, at least the majority of people want. And then we're not gonna not approve it. But we're not looking to be the decision makers for you. We want you to be the decision makers. If the chamber had all the businesses, which I know is impossible, but then you could have this meeting that we're having right now and decide what you want us to do and come with a proposal. Right? And I know that if that's not going to happen, sorry, Tristan, I know that's not going to happen. So we're willing to go through the process with you, but there's still a process that we need to go through. We're saying that we want to get it done by November 9th. We'll try to make the decision at the November 9th meeting, one way or the other. I think Joe's comments were very well made. I was thinking similar stuff, but Joe outlined it much better than I did. Tristan?
No, I appreciate what you just said there, that, you know, I think for most of us that organize these events, or, you know, volunteer our time to help with the chamber, is it NIAC? This letter did blindside us, and I think if they had sent it to us as organizations, that would have been the proper channel to get it. And ultimately, maybe we wouldn't be in this position.
Right.
And
But it's-
so it's that's frustrating from our perspective. And we're gonna work through it 100%, because we are a community, we are a business community.
We'll figure it out. As you said, we'll figure it out. We'll come to some sort of conclusion together. So we're committed to having that happen. Right?
Yeah.
Just to set it, excuse me, just to set it straight, Halloween parade. I know the village puts in a huge amount of not only money, but time and talent.
We're not questioning what the chamber puts into it at all, Roger.
But
So
I just want to comment, it's tens of thousands of hours and work hours and money, cash that goes into it. It's a huge amount of effort with a lot of people.
I don't doubt that at all. I'm sure that's true. Are we good? Okay, we're going. Yes,
Unless you say something about the parade. What happens in the parade is.
well, you're gonna have to stand up because we can't hear you and you're speaking to us, not to
What
them.
happens at
So
The parade is at a certain point,
you're addressing us,
the
please.
people who are in the parade sort of bunch up. And walk by in a bunch. It would be, I think the parade would actually be more successful if somebody was helping to separate folks so that you have a chance to see the costumes. I know it sounds silly,
No.
but I think it would be a hell of a lot more interesting parade if it were staggered
I'm
better.
sure the chamber will take that.
You
under
get that,
advisement.
Roger? You get that?
We don't run the parade.
The short answer to the question is that these little kids have tiny legs and tiny feet, and
It's hard.
we put them in different orders so that they will be more viewable if you take but they move at the speed that they move, and that's, they stop.
Yeah, so
Right.
You know, so
They
you're.
get tired, they lay down in the street, whatever it is. Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you, everyone. So we're now to our department reports. We had a phone conversation with Orangetown Police Department. When was that? Tuesday? We talked to them about the panhandler issues. We asked them to continue doing their walkarounds, which we think has been helpful. We also brought the issue of that it looks like some of the energy is going for panhandling is going to South Broadway. And we asked, are you getting phone calls from South Broadway? And they said no. So again, one of the things that we ask for people that are having these issues, call the police. They work off data. They get a call that there's something going on in South Broadway, and they get more and more calls. That's something that they use to then distribute how they police. So make sure that when something happens that you call. And they're going to come to one of our meetings, and I'm sure that that's one of the things that they'll tell us. So make sure that if something happens that you call, don't put it on Facebook. You can put it on Facebook if you want, but also make a call, because the police department does not read, believe it or not, read our Facebook groups in Nyack. They go off more what gets registered to them, either through comments on the street to their officers or through phone calls that they get or emails. So that's part of the way that we get policing around where we see the issues are, is by people reporting.
We're calling the police to report panhandling, you're saying?
If they're coming into your shop.
If they're coming into your shop and somebody said that they were scared of them, yeah, register. They may not be able to do anything, because panhandling is a free speech. So, but at least if we register where it's happening, they're going to do a little bit more patrols. Okay. It's something that we found and that they've expressed to us in every meeting that we have with them. That's the way they do their, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the way they do their patrolling.
I've seen them walking on Main Street and Broadway much more.
It's been much better. They've been very good. They've been great.
I also am starting to attend the police commissioners meetings. They happen once a month. And I was at the one, this past one. It was really a wonderful event. They had all the families of the new officers that have joined, and they actually have 7 new officers in the police department this year alone. And it was really a very nice ceremony to see how they work together and sort of celebrate each other in that context. So I think that's pretty much it for man
What is
alive.
that?
I think we're gonna kick off up into the scare under the sky or something. But that's it for the police department. Dennis.
No, thank you, nothing to report.
Nothing. Andy.
There's so much. We've been going for a while though. I'll just mention that our sidewalk project on Depew is probably about 80% right now done. The marina paving project is largely done with some striping and the crosswalk and some repair to a light that got knocked over needs to happen, but it's very close. Our tree committee is getting ready for another tree planting period. I'm not sure when that's taking place right now. I'm excited and grateful to them for their efforts. I wanted to mention for parking authority, it can be pretty quick next meeting. What I'm looking for is we're gonna do a financial report, which Jen and Rose will look at. And also I'm gonna propose that we make permanent the changes we did for river space. I haven't got any complaints about that. It seems to be working well with the 1 hour free along one side and the rest is,
So we should be able to do that in like 15 minutes.
yeah, I think that's, if you can give some thought to that, if you have any questions or concerns.
We might want to put the workshop on the letter that we got first, go till 7:45 and then only have 15 minutes. That way we're gonna do that one first. Just set it up so we have that time.
Why don't I just stop there because we've got so many things already to discuss.
Jen? Yes, I was just looking to see if there's anything else.
Yeah, so today I gave you all a financial report with a summary on top. I know you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, so I won't go over it too much, but I did highlight some of the areas that might stand out to you guys as well and give some reasons for whether it might be low or high. But overall, the budget is in really good condition at the moment, and I'm hopeful that it'll continue throughout the year.
Thank you.
And then if you have any, when you get a chance to review it, if you have any questions, don't give me that.
And do you want to give a quick update on the water department? Because that is an issue that we've been discussing it with them, so I think it's worth putting it out there.
They need to raise their rates, in short. The budget was optimistic on needed revenue. And they have costs that exceed their revenues and their fund, which needs to pay for itself. And so we've talked with the chair and with Barbara, who's does the administration there. And they're planning on having a proposed rate increase for their November meeting. The engineering company is providing support on that. But that needs to happen. In order, the village backstops that budget. And they also, they have a shared service cost. The village board decided to decrease that a little bit because it was more than the value of the insurance and the IT and the rental office space and everything. But they're not going to be able to pay that unless they straighten out their deficit situation.
And we also talked to them not just about raising rent rates, but looking at places where they can save funds. We did talk to them about both, just so everybody knows we're not just looking.
No, they're not. They're not spending in a crazy way. It's like it takes. It also water usage is down. It's not increasing with low flow appliances and other patterns. But
we need to adjust that whole.
Yeah, but they did overestimate how much they would be getting. They should have done their rate increase months ago.
Can I just ask, does it go through the normal process like the only or supervisors have to go through? Where it goes to PSC?
No, they're not regulated in the same way. Yes, so they're pretty much at liberty to separate it.
Does public get to comment at all, or are they just gonna have to go?
There's a water commissioners meeting which is open to the
Yeah,
public.
it's an open meetings law, so somebody, if they wanted to go to the meetings, they're published, they're put up on the website. They're usually here before our meeting, they meet on Thursdays once a month.
Okay.
And
But that would be
typically,
the way,
they do notify the public of rate increases.
before they go in. They usually do, but that's the way public can comment by going to their meeting.
I just want
It's
to know the
open meeting,
process.
it's open meeting.
It's notable also that we pay less per cubic foot of water than the old.
Yeah, way less.
Continue to be thankful.
Continue. Okay, old business, we had at our workshop meeting, we went over again our climate action plan. We're on track. It's at the DEC to be reviewed. We're really excited about the work that our communities put into that. There's some really great things that are going to come out of it that we can continue to have that aspirational view of becoming the silver certified.
I had one other thing to done.
All right, well, I'm done. Silver certified with the state with my survey. Go ahead.
I wanted to mention that we're planning on starting to clean up all those posters which have been plastered to our gazebo, benches, trees, and utility poles. Respectfully collecting them, making them available to whoever wants to have them. But we're worried about the having the paint get ripped. We just repainted all the streetlights, poles, and the gazebo. So we're planning on starting to clean up tomorrow morning.
Okay, so we will have, we've talked about sidewalks. That is an ongoing process. I mentioned what the public hearing on that we had to reschedule. I think the sidewalk issue is going to be something that we do need to consider and I know the board has talked about it before, to consider the whole enchilada of the sidewalk issue. And then our parking authority meeting will have probably at, we will notice it, but it'll probably be, maybe 7:15, so we have 15 minutes, and 6:30 would be the other workshop. We have no communications. I would request the board that we have an executive session to talk about potential litigation and also personnel issues. I need a motion in a second.
Motion, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We will now open up for public comment on any other item. I think we'll probably public commented out, maybe not. No, we're not. Carl's got another one.
It's not 3 minutes every time. It's just be a-
Yeah, and your family's waiting for you to get.
I know.
to see them.
Henry's still awake. Thank you guys for decorating South Franklin Street. You know, I think Marie put that into motion maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they just decorated the poles. Thank you guys. I'm wondering if there's anything we can do for winter time, potentially on the garden. I don't know, Jack, you're president of the garden, so I don't know if that public land or if there's any way that we can kind of get some solar lights or something over there that would brighten that up at night. That's the only.
That would definitely be something that you'd have to work out.
Okay.
He's not the president anymore, but
Okay.
he knows the president. Thank you.
Yeah, even if we have to chip in to pay for the lights, just so that's not like a dark spot, because at like 5:30 now it's like.
Yeah,
black.
it's a good idea.
And there's a lot of people that walk their dogs, there's a lot of people that are getting off the bus and walking to the pavilion, so to have a little additional light might make it look a little more pretty as well as make people feel safer.
The
lights on North Broadway look great.
Yeah, they look beautiful, they look amazing. Yeah, I mean, we don't have any for the spring across too, but
Oh, it's very soft, but they've been there for a while.
We're working again.
Okay, comments from the, Barbara, yes, please. And then we're gonna move to comments.
To talk about the cost of real estate in Nyack and affordable housing, and I just have some general thoughts. And the one thing is, I read about a study in the New York Times that said the number one inflationary pressure on prices in retail is the cost of rents. That rents are astronomical and landlords aren't bringing them down, and the restaurants are having to raise their prices, stores, and those owners of retail shops, not the real estate agents, are operating on a thin line there.
Yes, a lot about the land.
Also, tens of thousands of units created in New York City, hundreds of thousands of units created in the last 5 years. 90% of them are luxury housing. 10% are only middle class, affordable less. So you know that I think that our affordable housing law is not strong enough. I think the law should focus on the chunk of what people can afford, giving people. Okay, and then.
I wouldn't say, I was saying Alex.
Okay, and then,
Alex,
so that's just a
no one's
general
perfectly
thought. And then I spoke to Dawn about this in the grocery store. I went to the movie about Nyack Plaza, and there was some discussion there. I know you have this pot of money that you've been getting from some people who are doing the buyouts. Why couldn't you use that money, $150,000 or $300,000, to the families who were affected, to allow them to purchase as a down payment? Be it you could decide in the village or not, or you could decide to help, mostly African Americans, if you can't find the families, to help that demographic with that. That's what you could use it for. Just a thought. Anyway.
Thank you, Barbara. That's
Thank you.
Okay, so, board comments. I'm gonna try to rush us through this because we're already on 10.
Halloween's great, super excited for it. Continuing to bring through peace and prosperity. That's it.
And peace out.
Like a good old, I see you. I don't have anything to.
Yeah.
In the spirit of Halloween, good luck on the parade. Looking forward to it. Also glad to see you feeling better because I know you were unwell. That's good to have you. Particularly this week. You can't be sick this week. It's not.
Yeah, you're not allowed. Not allowed.
But also want to say in the spirit of Halloween, wonderful job by the tradition of decorating the kids. The high school kids come and decorate. They were out today doing it. And also, if you want to see something fun, go up top of High Avenue. There's a couple of houses there that have gone above and beyond to decorate their homes for Halloween. There's all sorts of inflatables and gravestones and everything else. So check it out.
Joe stole mine. I was gonna say, coming down, I sent everybody the note.
Yeah.
Coming down Main Street, it was unbelievable this morning. Groups of young folks.
Yeah.
Painting windows, laughing, having a good time, all the way down from the top down to Broadway. It was just fantastic. It was so good to see. Oh, they're alive. And then I was just going to mention about the boat, which I indicated earlier with the Visit Nyack, that we are getting, there are things scheduled that we may not see, but like
I saw
we've got the
them.
cruise boat and everything else. So we're trying.
Yeah, your comment, right?
I'm coming to one.
Oh, I'm saying your comment.
Oh, my
I'm saying it's
comment.
your turn because
Yeah.
you call on everybody else. I thought
So you were-
it's time for you to give your comment.
I went to the Berea recognition, their pastors recognition and nonprofit recognition. They did honor me, so it was very nice for them to do that. And it's always a nice event. And if Francis Pratt says you're supposed to be there, you're there. So I went and had a wonderful time. Andy was there with me. We both got to speak a little bit, but that was really a nice event. And coming down, seeing all the paintings on the windows is really a great tradition for us to have. And I think this discussion that we're going to have over over what we do with events is really one that will make us a better community. I'm not after doing away with anything or adding it, but just having that discussion so we all understand some of the things and what really these help us do is, I think, really important because people have lost track of all the things that go into our downtown.
May I make one more comment? Did you remind me of something?
Sure.
Just congratulations to Nicole Hines, the head of the Nyack NAACP, who's being honored tonight. Unfortunately, we're here rather than being there by the Rockland County Bar Association. So congratulations to her.
Thank you for saying that. I completely forgot.
Yeah, I forgot to.
I would entertain a motion from Joe Ram to,
No, I do the last one.
oh, Joe, that's the
Executive
last
session,
one. So
anyway.
we're moving into exec session. I'll entertain it from Pascal with a second from Marie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you all.
Everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Andy?
Yeah, the next one is in there. Right, and this